I just want to ask the question now. Like, in Rochester, was the way they handled homelessness there different from the way people handle it here? Or, like, city officials specifically handle it here?
Yes and no, I'd have to say, which I know is not a very satisfying answer. But I will explain. Rochester, New York, has a population of around 800 people living on the street on any given night, which I know sounds crazy compared to like over 10,000 people here.
You said 800 people total.
I thought you meant 800 people total living in that city.
Oh yeah, no.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, no, living on the street. Living on the street.
Yeah.
The city of Rochester, they would not do as frequent of encampment sweeps. And you might say, oh, that's just due to the size. But no, these places that people were staying were very public, like very visible to the public. They had much more of a focus on community outreach.
Right.
They even had some sanctioned encampments. There was one called Peace Village that had these little shelter things. Like, it was like a quick build, shelter here, but it was like more community ran. It was pretty successful. Like, people would kind of cycle through there, and it was sort of supported by the city and then also the House of Mercy, which is one of the larger shelters in the Rochester area. Unfortunately, Rochester has started adopting more of a strict and kind of more unfortunately familiar policy to dealing with homelessness. A couple months before I actually had to move back here, they had started doing larger sweeps and were very much changing the way that they addressed homelessness, which I think is really, really unfortunate, because if they invested money into certain programs, and maybe they don't have the same financial situation as San Jose, probably not. If there was a different investments made, they probably could build enough housing for that many people. Like, if we think about 800 people here is like such a small number in comparison.
That's like 3 multi-story developments.
Yeah,
basically.
You just know that shit off the top of your head. That's 3 multi-story developments.
I mean, like, if every development was like 200, that's like 4 technically. But like, if you're counting, like, some of them might have families and shit, like, that's like that's like 3. That's like 3 to 4.
Well, more like 17 with how San Jose does it, where like it's like 2 floors are affordable, and the rest of it's all.
Let me ask you this: how many stories is too high?
How many stories is too high?
Yeah.
Well, we got the airport right there, so we can't build shit above like 10. So anyway,
it's actually like 20, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like 20.
Anyway,
Near the airport.
I find that San Jose is such a funny place to live to me.